Dentists that own their own practice, provide customer service excellence, and work with a professional SEO make the most money. Welcome to Dental SEO 101, a podcast dedicated to helping dentists retire well.
Hello and welcome to the Dental SEO 101 podcast, episode number 6 by First Dentist. My name is Ross Dunn and I'm the Director of SEO and co-founder of First Dentist. Well, let's jump right in here. We're going to start off with some non-SEO news, just because it seemed interesting enough and pertinent enough. A LinkedIn study has shown how to increase engagement. Now, this is just in case you spend some time on LinkedIn, keeping up in the latest dental trends from thought leaders or being a thought leader yourself. A LinkedIn study by Metropole analyzed 48,000 company pages over 3 years, analyzing more than 577,000 LinkedIn posts. Not bad. The results found that posts that include links get 13.57% more interactions and 5% more views than posts that do not include links. This contradicts what other studies have said in the past and other experts have claimed. Historically, it was suspected that LinkedIn displayed posts with links less often. Now, this study shows that about 31% of the analyzed posts contain links, and those posts consistently outperformed ones without links. The study also revealed that posts using carousels had the highest engagement rate at 45%. That is seriously impressive. Posts using polls also had about twice the engagement rate of regular posts. Text-only posts showed the worst performance of any other post type. All right, into general SEO news. This is going to be annoying if you haven't already noticed it. Google Business Profiles had a bug resurface that is now showing old, fake, removed reviews. Removed, air quote. This is so annoying. The dumpster fire that is Google Business Profiles. Anyway, they consumed, Google has confirmed this is a bug where fake and old removed reviews were resurfacing for some business profiles. As if it isn't hard enough to get rid of bad reviews that are garbage. I personally have issues with a number of clients where there is no way at all that Google, if they had anyone manually reviewing them, would believe these are real. They're just unbelievable, but somehow they don't get removed. And to have them finally removed and then see them come back again, that would be infuriating. So if you've seen this, hopefully by the time you listen to this anyway, it isn't an issue anymore. These bugs do take a while because Google puts local on the very, very low tier of importance. But yeah, let's hope. All right. What can you do to improve your site's visibility in AI search? This is something that First Dentist we're focusing on a lot for obvious reasons. I mean, AI is consuming the world and search engines more so in many ways. The search results we've seen since 5 years ago have dramatically changed. We're seeing AI overviews everywhere, and that is dramatically cutting into people's organic traffic. Now, how much of that traffic is actually traffic that would have led to getting a new patient? There's debate around that because we have seen particular clients not see a drop in business, but a drop in traffic. So was that traffic really worthwhile getting? It's hard to say, but I don't like the idea that is being dropped and that there's no control over that. Once again, Google has the final say. Well, here are some tips for you. Now, I know this is a 101 show, but it's pretty difficult to stay completely 101 when we're talking about AI overviews and trying to influence them or just simple AI search. It does require putting your thinking cap on and going the extra step, maybe into 102 or perhaps 200. Anyways, first of all, add extra information with structured data. That sounds like, oh no, what the heck are you talking about? Well, imagine giving search engines a roadmap to your content. By adding, you help search engines understand the specifics of your content. For instance, if you have a recipe page, structured data can highlight ingredients, cooking time, calories, and this makes it easy for search engines to display your content in rich results, potentially attracting more visitors. Yes, I read that, but it's a good, quick, and easy way to describe what's being done. Now, how to do it is using what's called schema markup, and that's structured content or structured data. It's added to the background of the page. You do need someone with a little bit of knowledge to do it. We can certainly help you with that, and it's something we do implement across our clients' sites. It is not rocket science, just like most things SEO is simply how you attack it, the order of importance, and being on top of what changes are happening in the given SEO sphere, I guess you could call it. Next, you need to target specific, detailed search terms. These days, people have longer search terms. They're typing in more specific phrases into search engines, especially when they're using voice search, which is happening more and more often, especially for the younger generation. By focusing on these long tail keywords that mirror natural speech, you're increasing the chances your content matching these detailed queries will show up. This approach can improve your visibility in both AI overviews, search, and actual AI search engines like Search GPT, Perplexity, Gemini. Well, I guess Gemini is its own AI, but you get the point. Search engines that are focused on being your new place to do search. And by the way, Perplexity is gaining a lot of market share. Nothing like Google, never, but it's actually noticeably picking up. I'm seeing more and more people talking about it. I'm seeing more thought leaders suggest you switch to Perplexity to get a feel for what the new search engines in the world will look like soon. That's pretty awesome. I mean, kudos to Perplexity. That's a fantastic honor to be put in that light, in my opinion. And I do love it. I think it's great. Have I abandoned using Google? No, because that's my livelihood. I have to go between the two, but I'm definitely using it. So when you do this kind of targeted specific search term optimization, it doesn't mean you're not going to be showing up in other rankings. That's really important to note. The way that search engines work now, they're more about, well, they understand. They simply understand what you're looking for in most cases. If you have a detailed search term, you're usually adding more information, especially if it's voice search, that they have to draw from to provide a better result. So creating great content with great explanations, using terms you have investigated and you know that your target market are using is going to help you. Next, you want to incorporate images and videos. This has never really changed. We've always suggested this, but it's becoming more and more important. And it's an uphill battle for many of our dental clients and prospects because, well, your life is already busy and it's getting more and more necessary, though, to create video that you can show off. And it has to be, really should be authentic. You're taking video in your office. Maybe you invite some people over that are friends that don't mind being on video and you have them in the chair and you chat, and it doesn't matter if the audio, sure, it's recording audio. You're not going to use the audio in your video, probably. It's going to have a nice voiceover or simple music or whatever, but it just shows someone smiling and in the table, in the chair and having a great experience. Another one might be at the desk talking to the receptionist. And doing these on a regular basis, and then switch it up, bring up another friend and have it there and change the lighting slightly so it looks like it's a different day. Make people change slightly so they're not wearing the same clothing. You can get a lot of this video done in a single day. Not a great fun day, but you can mix it up to have some fun with it. You pretty much need to. In other words, to ensure that next time you need to do this, these people will help again. Take them for dinner or do whatever. Make it a fun day. But the amount of video and collateral you'll get out of that is immense. And it's going to make your life a lot easier for the coming days where video is taking a front seat. And from those, you can easily get captures for images as well, for whatever you need that for, from ads to examples of particular procedures, whatever there may be. Very important. On that note, YouTube has become even more important. So having this information and perhaps hiring a team to do video for YouTube, even taking the video you've already created and wrapping it up and making it into something for YouTube. We do that as well. That's a good idea. That's going to help. Will it help immediately? It depends. It depends on what the subject is, whether or not it's something truly innovative or really catches people's eyes. That's a different thing entirely. But it is something you need to build on. And it's going to be harder. There's so many practices out there that are doing decent optimization. So you need to go above that and do greater. You need to be a better competitor. And that's what we're upping our game for our clients to do. Very important. Encourage visitor interaction. That's the next bit here. Search engines notice how users interact with your website. If visitors spend more time on your pages, it signals that your content is valuable. To boost engagement, create content that includes and invites comments, shares, and discussions. Tricky. Without question, tricky. Like, how do you do that without this getting out of control? I mean, some comment areas will just be a nightmare to manage. This has to be done very carefully. It's something that's recommended, but I would definitely speak with your SEO, speak with your team, figure out what is doable and whether or not this is just something you put on the back burner or something you want to go full steam ahead on. You need to go with your eyes wide open. There's a bit of management involved for comments and discussions. Finally, keep your content fresh. It's been the norm for dental practices to have content that is written once, perhaps very well, hopefully very well, but then it just sits. And some parts of your site will be like that, and no matter what. But if it is content that is cornerstone content that really talks about how great your practice is, your differentiators, and perhaps shows video or all the different things that we've talked about that are really good, well, you need to keep that lively. It doesn't mean you have to do this every week, but keep it fresh. If there's something new, perhaps you've added new equipment, we'll update the page. If there's been a change in location, definitely update your imagery and your video. If there's any changes in how you do what you do, update the page. It is stuff that Google can see, search engines can see overall, and it shows life to not only them, but also to prospects who are considering your practice. All right. I hope those have helped. I know it is a lot. Trust me. I don't think I've ever had to learn so much all at once on a regular basis in my 28-year career of doing SEO. It's very intense right now, and it's going to get worse. Worse or better, depends how you look at it. I do enjoy I do enjoy the challenge. I just hope that it will at some point get to a place where this is what works and this is what doesn't work versus always a moving target. That might be a dream in vain, though. We'll see. Either way, there's lots of work to do. In with this, as thanks to AI content being put out there all the time, and usually in a very poor fashion, Google has updated its Google Quality Rater guidelines. So these are guidelines that are used by humans to rate Google results. Google then takes the information from these Google Quality Raters and helps inform its algorithm as training information so that it becomes better at noticing issues. So it's not them directly writing to the algorithm or making changes to what they've provided information on. Like they say they don't like this page or it's poor quality. It may end up that page gets dropped or has a lower ranking yet later, but it's not directly because of them. It's going to be because Google has gotten smarter about what has been provided in terms of input on its own rankings. So with that said, Google has updated it. They did it up back in January, and here are some core changes. Scaled content abuse, creating a lot of content with little effort or originality with no editing or manual curation. This is their answer to generative AI. This is essentially what they meant anyway. It's one example of an automated tool used that would create this kind of content. So if you use AI to help with content, which you should, we do hardly believe in that, always be sure to vet what's created and expand on it to make it amazing. I say amazing because that's how it stands out. That's how you will not be just yet another practice. Main content created with little to no effort. This is a new catch-all section in the Rater's guidelines for low-quality, paraphrased content, often seen with generative AI and other forms of automated generation. So again, any content you create ensure it adds value, and it, yeah, not it adds value is really just really where it cuts off. But just, you know, give credit where it's due. If it's something you need to source, um, rewrite it if you feel it wasn't perfectly written, if it's not going to be a quote, but it needs to add value and make it excellent. Misleading claims, and they're getting well, this is a good argument whether or not they're truly getting good at this, but Google is getting stricter on exaggerated or misleading claims they claim, keeping everything honest. Anyway, we can dream. But the key here is that using AI is not bad, but you have to be very careful because it does often hallucinate. Ensure what you're getting from AI is true, high quality, and vetted. That's it. These are things that just make good sense and were inevitable with Google's and it was an inevitable update to the Google Rater guidelines. AI in search. Well, we kind of talked about AI, but this is sort of the AI section. Google AI overviews are linking over and over again to itself, which is really annoying and I hope is fixed soon because it's, well, to me, obviously, to me, it seems as though Google is just favoring itself, which I know they're already in the target reticle of the Justice Department, but this is the kind of thing that should not be happening. Anyway, there are reports where AI overviews are adding links that point back to itself. In an example by Matthew Kerr, he found that if you search for narcissist, the AI overview links the search results for the term narcissist with the same AI overview. Oops. If you see any other oddities like that, please share them wherever you hang out because everyone should see this stuff. It's garbage. I've seen other things like this. I'm too busy. I just get past it and go, whatever. Yeah, more garbage. Google is using AI to improve paid ads. Let's consider this a win for now. I'm hoping it's a win. If you do paid ads, which many of our practices do, it's a very good idea. Then this is good news. Apparently, they've in its annual ads safety report, Google has highlighted how AI has helped shape paid ads. They used AI to remove 5.1 billion bad ads, restrict 9.1 billion ads, suspended 39.2 million advertiser accounts. What? Anyway, enforced against 1.3 billion publisher pages, blocked or removed 415 million scam related ads. Wow. That's just, those are some big numbers. It's hard to fathom how much crap was in ads already. Never mind how much they probably missed. Wow. Anyway, talking about buyer beware. It's the internet's just such a nutty place to be, but that's just, it blows my mind. Now, to finish things off here, I wanted to introduce you to something that we're hoping comes about. It's a little technical, but it is important. I think you'll see that pretty quickly. LLMS.text. What the heck's that? Well, it's a file and it's a proposed standard for AI website content crawling. So there's always been a thing called robots.txt. Well, not always, but for a long time in search. It's a way for owners of a website to tell Google, tell search engines how to index its website and where not to go. It's very, very important and very helpful. And it can even block certain search spiders from visiting your website, which again is a very good idea because it is, well, you don't necessarily want them everywhere. And there's certain content that may be sensitive or certain content that would just mess up your search results because it's totally irrelevant. But there's nothing for AI. Like there's just really nothing that's done a good job. So Australian technologist Jeremy Howard has proposed the use of an LLMS.text. Of course, he's alluding to large language model.text. It's a file that aims to provide a standard way for AI large language models to efficiently crawl and access website content while giving content creators more control over their data use. The file would work in a manner similar to the robots.txt file, using simple markdown language, allowing website owners to provide context on how their content should be accessed by AI models. It would allow website owners the ability to specify which website areas should be accessible, potentially benefiting SEO by guiding AI models to relevant content. The benefits, I think we've covered a bit of them, but it protects proprietary content by directing AI models that comply with usage directives. Again, that comply, because there are directives out there that search engines just don't comply with. Enhances interaction with AI, thus improving the quality of AI-generated responses. Let's hope. May improve the content visibility in AI-powered search results. Offers a competitive advantage through effective AI readiness. Debatable, but again, hopeful. Now, the challenges and limitations. We kind of already mentioned this, but adoption. There's no guarantee that every one of these developers and LLM creators are going to comply with this. Well, they're like, whatever, I want access to everything. Potential conflicts with existing robots.txt and XML site directives. It's a bit technical, but if there's a conflict saying yes, no, and maybe they're looking at both and trying to figure out which way they should go, that could be an issue. And it exposes content to competitors for analysis. This is an old technique that we used to use when we were doing competitor analysis back in the day. Well, we still do it, but when it was a little easier. And we would look at robots.txt and see where a competitor was blocking people from going. We go, ooh, well, I want to see what this is. So it was technically a pretty simple way to see what the person was hiding. And that would, I guess, in this case, do the same thing. It was never super revealing whatever we found, but sometimes we get a hint about what they were up to or what they were, maybe their dev site or, something that would give an indicator of what's going on. Okay, taking my competitor analysis hat off, let's get back to this. When will this take effect? Well, currently it's just being discussed and apparently implemented by some, but it's not yet universally adopted. Until it is adopted by major industry players, its effect will be limited. We'll certainly be implementing it for all of our clients as soon as we possibly can when there's a point to do so. How do you create this file if you want to do it yourself? Well, there's certain tools online. Website LLMs is a WordPress plugin that you can use. Never tried it. None of these have I ever tried. So do keep that in mind. Markdowner, that's one word. It's a GitHub tool. Amplify. This is an LLMS, try and say that fast, text generator. And Firecrawl. That's firecrawl.dev. Places to look into if you're really interested in finding out more. It is all very fascinating for us SEO nerds. May not be to you, but I think and hope it will be a part of our lives soon, because it is important that AIs have some restrictions, and I hope it's enforced. Who will do it? I have no idea. Well, on behalf of myself, Ross Dunn, Director of SEO and co-founder of First Dentist, thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions you'd like answered either on the podcast for free, I'd love to answer some questions for you, or on a more private consulting basis, please email info@firstdentist.com. Thank you for listening, and remember to tune into our next episode where we'll be sharing more SEO 101 tips and news on dental SEO.